Hi, I remembered I was supposed to reveal the team that makes ElectroBOOM happen at 4 million subscribers. But in my last video, I spent so much time making this magic wand that I forgot to expose. At the end of the video, I'll expose my crew. So watch to the end. Roll the intro.
Okay. Okay, boomers, if you have questions with quality, post it on our subreddit, no matter your entity. I may or may not check it in the next episode of LATITY.
There is no team, just clones to replace him when he gets electrocuted. Well, it does take a lot of work to run a channel as big as mine. I'll show you at the end. Keep watching. Mehdi should make this a capacitor gun, the successor to the coil gun and rail gun. How does this thing work? Well, the guy is not showing how it works. Is he just creating sparks to explode some explosive and shoot something? That's not electricity. Call me when they can't shoot that hard with electricity. Ouch! An attempt? Finally, a fan art! It's almost identical. Is this really true? Please rectify.
So today we're going to show you why you shouldn't leave your
Don't talk on the
chargers
phone while charging.
plugged in. So as you can see, there's power in there. You plug in your phone. There's power in there, how it's supposed to be.
There is power in there. What does it mean?
But if someone is talking on the phone while the phone is charging, the electric waves will come to your body.
And why
They're
does that
gone.
matter?
So, bottom line, don't charge your phones while talking.
I think the main problem is that people don't know what is harmful and what is not. I've told you before that the input and output of wall adapters must be isolated per standard. I found it. Let me introduce you to one of my crew members. This is my lighting engineer, Mr. Lytovsky-Khorochov, which as you can see is pretty dead for unknown reasons because I was playing with my magic wand apparently and it didn't like it. Something like, ouch! Well, my adjustable table was not the only thing died with my magic wand. I accidentally discharged to the side of this light, which killed its power adapter. Well, I can still turn it on using my power supply. Interestingly enough, in my adjustable table, also the wall adapter died. You see here, this line and that line indicate the separation between the input and output of the adapters. The two sides are completely isolated for DC, but not necessarily AC. See these white lines here, they indicate very tiny capacitances between the two sides. So for example, if there is a static discharge like the one from the wand to the device, it will travel over the power line, over these capacitors and to the main lines. So the discharge is supposed to dissipate to the power lines and save the circuit, which it didn't really in these two power adapters. I did try to explain in my 5G video how you can get hurt by electromagnetic waves. And basically for frequencies below UV light, you're not gonna get cancer. So let's put that out of the way. And so for any other frequency, you will either get burned or electrocuted. And for that to happen, the current through your body must be high enough. And for city power line frequency of 50 or 60 Hertz, you will get electrocuted before you get burned. I guess unless the power is so high that you'll get burned and electrocuted and exploded at the same time. So of course, there is a very weak AC path through your wall adapter. So you can sense electricity over the charging cable and in your cell phone when it's plugged in. So if you pick up your cell phone, some of those electric fields go over your body. What you see here, I can't sense anything at all. Why? Because I'm holding the sensor in one hand and sensing my arm in the other hand. The only way it would sense something would be if there was an electromagnetic difference across my body, which there isn't. So that's your first clue that holding your cell phone while charging in your hand is safe because there is no energy across your body. The reason sensor beeps is that one person is sensing another person. So I wrapped my sensor in aluminum foil and connected it to the ground. And if I put my leg off ground and just be completely floating, see? The secret is there is always electricity on our bodies. Now, of course, I can reduce sensitivity so it doesn't sense my floating body. Now, if I hold my charging cell phone, it beeps too. Let's actually make some measurements and see how much current would run through our body. Let's see how much current runs in worst case scenario, shorting the output of the wall adapter to earth ground through the multimeter. And this is microamp range. And this is 0 if I connect it. It's close to 1 microamp only. 1 microamp is nothing. And that's the worst case. Now if I hold the charging cell phone in my hand, the current between my body and ground is Same 1 microamp, interesting. See, my body is now completely floating. I put my leg up on a piece of plastic and I'm shorting my body through the meter to earth, and there is some half a microamp of current running through my body, although I'm not connected anywhere. And of course, if I bring my hand close to the charging phone, the current picks up a little bit. Let's look at it on the scope. Right now I'm not connected anywhere, and if I touch the probe, there is some 5 volt peak voltage between my body and ground. And of course, if I touch the phone, the voltage rises to like 10 volt peak. And of course, as soon as I touch the ground, I short that voltage to 0. So the moral of the story is, 1, as long as you're a human being standing on ground, there's always some like half a microamp of current going through your body, because the energy from the power lines around you is capacitively coupled to your body. And 2, such super small currents won't affect your body, especially since you naturally pick up much higher voltages and currents in your everyday to-day life, like by just walking from somewhere to another or rubbing your body against plastic or wool and things of that sort. So forget about it. Now this is interesting. Why was it removed? This is interesting. It is the same effect I replicated in my previous video. It's interesting to know you can replicate it with the fly swatter too. This video makes no sense. Why would the toy come on?
People often ask me, how does muscle testing actually work? We're going to consult with the electrical system of the body, and let's do a little demonstration of that for you. So I have a little electrical toy here, but until we complete the circuit, the electricity doesn't flow. So this is just a demonstration of how our own bodies conduct electricity.
So is that toy like my lamp that when you connect between the 2 terminals with your body, it turns on? Nothing special to see here. Am I doing this grounding thing right? Need help as soon as possible. Okay, let's help him. I am unable to read color codes on resistors. Where is the anode and cathode? Resistors are not directional. Anode and cathode. Okay, who's next? Repost since my fab YouTuber started looking at this subreddit. Nice, another great fan art. People are starting to care. Free energy? Stop showing me crap videos from this channel. I took this screenshot a while back and never thought about posting it here. Holy crap. Happens to me every day. Me working with 1000-watt radios every day. Neighbors finding out I work with 1000-watt radios every day. Mom, why don't you play with the neighbor's kids? Meanwhile, the kid. I see no difference. We are practically the same. What is this? ElectroBOOM guy on Oscilloscope? Wow! Oh, the guy posted it 5 years ago. He created my face on an analog scope. That's fascinating. Wow, he says just set your oscilloscope to XY mode and connect it to your audio input. Is that possible? Let's try it. Okay, I have a piece of headphone wire. Let's plug it to the laptop. Connect the headphone ground to the scope ground and probe the left and right signals separately. Okay, let's see if I can draw my face on the scope like this. Hey, look at this. It's sideways. I just have to switch probes, I guess. So ugly. My setup seems a bit noisy, but not bad, eh? And if I change the volume on the computer, the image gets smaller and bigger. Whoop. Basically, in XY mode, one of the audio channels would move the scope dot in X direction and the other one would move it in Y direction. So basically, if you give every audio channel proper amplitude and frequency, you can draw something with it and see what happens when I change the frequency. Okay, maybe it's time for me to reveal my crew now. So Bezan Laiko. Well, of course, my success was guaranteed from the beginning with my great crew. Let me introduce you to my cameraman. Well, I just use Mr. Tripod here as my cameraman, and of course you're already familiar with Mr. and Mrs. Light here that took over after Horochov. I had Mr. Green, the green screen, for a long time, but now I got one of these fancy Elgato green screens. Just pull it up like that and I don't need Mr. Green anymore, and with its smooth surface it's much easier to make green screen videos. Just like that. Now, all joking aside, the real credit goes to my talented and funny scriptwriter right here. Hi, I write scripts. No, I do that myself. But video editing is the real time-consuming job that really brings the video to life, thanks to my video editor right here. Hi, I edit videos. Yeah, well, you're not efficient. Do better. And then, of course, my electronic designer right here. Oh, hi. The sound engineer. Hi. The social media manager. Hi. The merch marketing manager. Hi. My imaginary friend. Hi. The host. Well, I'm the host. And it all happens in this 10-foot by 10-foot room right here. Now you might say, wow, this is such a male-centric company. No, it's not. I have a wife and daughter that help.
Can I try?
We as a company value diversity.